An opportunity. Hold up. What's happening here? Oh! Is that what's happening? And we're just getting random snowballs? I don't even know you. Hey guys, what's up? It's Friday, and I've got, say about 2 more days before I start the 21-day fast, where I'm gonna be going purely plant-based, right? And so because of that, I find myself wanting to indulge in the things I can't eat. And they include in this fast fish, which I mentioned previously, which includes oysters, which I've learned to have a taste for. I used to hate them. I used to think I was like eating snot back in the day. But now I'm like, yo, oysters, get in my mouth. Now. So I'm currently on a journey to go to Whole Foods, because at Whole Foods, if you don't know this, every Friday they have dollar oysters, which a lot of bars in Chicago do oyster deals where you get like oysters for $1 or $2 each or whatever. But if you go to Whole Foods, you just get them for $1 straight up, and they're good quality. So I decided, even though this is a snowy day, which I'm sure some of you people who live in places like Texas or Atlanta who are getting snow and you're like, what the hell? Or like, yeah, this is your life? This is how you live your life, bro? How do you do it? I just do. I'm from Chicago. We do this. I wear hats like this. I wear a hood on top of my hat, like a little yarmulke in the back, and we make it work. I'm wearing sweatpants today. And, you know, just keeping it fashionable. But anyway, I am on this little trek, little adventure, going to get these oysters. It's going to be about a 20-minute walk. I was going to drive my car, but I don't want to lose my parking spot, which I guess kind of like omits the point of having a car if you're like, yeah, I got a car, but I don't drive it, so I can just let it sit. I'm aware of what I just said. But I also need the exercise. I've been in the house all day, been working, and I think it's just time to be outside for a little bit, even in the snowy weather. Which honestly, I'll say this one thing about snow, and I've said this a long time ago. But when somebody just was talking, but when I was a kid, snow was the best thing in the world. I was like, yo, it's snowing outside? Yeah! But now, snow is just more of a nuisance than anything else, if I'm honest. Like, snow isn't this all-encompassing fun thing to play around in, things to go and pick up snowballs and throw it at your sister. It's just not what it used to be. Now it's like, oh man, this is annoying. But I digress. I am excited for these oysters though. You have no idea. I am a oyster monster now. And my girl will be like, yeah, remember that one time you said they were gross and now you love them? Mm-hmm. See how you changed? See how you changed? See what I'm doing for you? See how I'm making your life better? Mm-hmm. And to her, I would say, yes, you have made my life better. Thank you, girl. Anyway, I'm wearing this fashionable coat now. In the past, I would have been wearing something crazy and janky, but she got me in this place where I want to just be a little bit more fashionable, a little bit smoother, a little bit cooler, you know what I mean? But I don't laugh like that in real life. All right, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. This is a vlog. We got to talk about real things, talk about some real life, some real interesting aspects here. So let me get this. So hold on a second while I fix the mic. It fell off when I was trying to be a fool and run around. Give me 1 sec. To y'all probably like, yo, you sound good. Sanders, man, you sound good, man. I don't know why you're trying to fix anything. The fact is, what is perceived is not always reality. All right, so let me tell you this. So I have been kind of pondering how to bring this up, because I know it's going to be polarizing to some people in my audience, and to others, they'll be fully in support of me. So I want to make sure that I'm hitting this at the right juncture. So a lot of people talk about DEI, at least recently, since kind of Trump brought it up as an initiative he wants to get rid of. DEI is diversity and inclusion. Now, as someone who's worked in corporate America for a long time, I find diversity and inclusion to be kind of incredible. I find it to be something that not only gives people like me an opportunity. Hold up, what's happening here? Oh, is that what's happening? Are we just getting random snowballs? I don't even know you. Oh man, that's what we get in the streets now. I don't know that kid at all. Like, I don't know why that. It's not his mom either. It's his babysitter. What? Okay, that could be his adopted mom. I shouldn't say that. But what? Gotta love it. Gotta love the city. What was it about? Diversity and inclusion. Kids, you're not helping my case here. So diversity and inclusion. So one thing I'll tell you, I've worked in corporate America for a long time, right? Pretty much not almost my entire career. And I find it to be a good thing because it creates an equalizer. It kind of impedes people who might be racist, and by giving them incentives to hire people who maybe don't necessarily look like them. And I'm saying that because the majority of businesses aren't run or owned by people like me. Now there are, of course, black-owned businesses, but they are the minority, pun intended, right? So with that knowledge, hold on a second, I want to make this light. With that knowledge, I want to go into it knowing that if someone hires me, they're hiring me because I'm qualified. They're hiring me because I'm going to be good for the job, not just because I happen to be a Negro. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people who hate DEI typically will say, well, you should be hired for things other than the color of your skin. And I'm like, of course, dude. Like, you act like they're hiring just any black guy that walks on the street like, yo, man, let me get one of them good-ass jobs. Let me get one of them black jobs I heard about. Hey, you know what I mean? DEI. No one's doing that. You're hiring qualified people. You're evening the playing field because there are people, and you may not like it, but it is true, there are people who will only hire people who look like them. And there are people who will discriminate. So all you're really doing with these initiatives, if I'm being real with you, is you are giving people a reason not to discriminate, right? But then some people will say, well, now you're just reverse discriminating because now you're going to hire more brown people. And I go, well, here's the thing, especially in my career field. I am almost always one of two or one black person in my offices. So they're not like rapidly hiring blacks over whites. They're not rapidly hiring blacks over other people. They're not. They're just not. It just gives us a bump, an opportunity that we otherwise wouldn't get because of systemic racism. Systemic racism basically means that they look down on you from a higher level and won't give you an opportunity because they view you as an other, right? The system itself is inherently racist. Here's the whole thing. People ignore this part. But when we got brought over here, our ancestors, by the slave ships, right? And then we finally, found freedom and got equal, quote unquote. We were never truly equal. We never were truly equal. We're never considered to be equal. We weren't giving the same opportunities. We were treated as second-class citizens. We were put in worse schools, given worse education, given the worst foods. Soul food is some of the worst food. That's why you got freaking chitlins. You gotta eat intestines, telling everybody, oh, that's soul food. That's good for your soul. Or like like soggy greens. Like, I'm not saying it's not delicious. I ain't saying that. But I am saying that, you're giving us the worst of the worst and we make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, we are put in unfair conditions already. And all people who don't want DEI are saying, hold on a second. All you anti-DEI people, you're just saying, let's go back to the days when whites could get white jobs and it was easier for us because you want it easier for you. You're not worried about it being fair. You want it easier for yourself. But the thing is, you already have an unfair advantage. This program is meant to even the playing field. I don't understand how you don't see that. I had 2 arguments with 2 separate friends. And guess what? Both those friends are white. Like, it's not a good program. It's not a good thing. The guy who told me that doesn't even work in corporate America. I'm like, dude, you don't even work in corporate America. And the girl who said the same thing, neither does she either. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, you guys don't even have the experience that I have in corporate America to speak on it, but y'all speaking like y'all know it. The thing is, they're both Trump supporters, and that's where the buck ends. I'm like, like, I only have my Trump supporter friends, not my Republican friends. I have Republican friends who still support DEI, but Trump supporter friends who are going against DEI. Diversity and inclusion. One thing too, I was on a board for this crap, bro. I was on a board for disabilities, which is difference in ability, obviously, where you had to work to also hire and create accessibilities for people who are not necessarily based on their skin color, but who have a disability in the workplace, be it, an extreme form of anxiety, be it a physical disability, be it a mental disability. So we have people in our mailroom that, aren't, mentally all the way there, but we had different people working in this organization I was at. So we had this whole program, DEI, to help support them feel somewhat normal in the workplace. Is that a bad thing? What is bad about inclusion? That's a question. What is bad about inclusion? Now, I can say that the execution of some of the programs could be off. The execution could be off. But that doesn't mean you get rid of it. That means you retool it. That means you fix it. That means you make it better. I'll say that there's programs I've heard of or been a part of where they almost make you like out somebody or target somebody based on race. And that's not okay. I don't support that. I'm not okay with that. But there are programs that help you learn how to get ahead as somebody with your particular pigment or your particular ailment or your particular situation or your attributes. Like, they walk through the fact that, and it's a big thing too, diversity and inclusion isn't just about race. If you actually understand the program, you would know that. It's also about differences in culture that extends beyond your race. There are people who walk in a room who are diverse in thought and diverse in experience, right? Like, I came from a lot of agencies, right? But someone else came from a lot of pure corporate America, or someone else came from a nonprofit. That is diversity in itself. And not ignoring that or ignoring those experiences is a part of diversity and inclusion. White people join these groups. I'm telling you, I've been on the board for one, maybe two even if I think about it. But the people who are straight up going, no, it's a bad program, let's get rid of it, Trump don't like it, let's go. They don't know anything because they haven't experienced it. They're just going with what their leader says, you know what I mean? And I don't think they even see how bad it makes them sound. Like, I'll be honest, these two people, I used to respect them. And even when they voted for Trump, I'm like, you know what? We don't think the same way, but I still respect you as a human being with a difference of opinion and different experiences. So you know what? I'm gonna let it slide. But now you're following this zeitgeist that is literally pushing America not to be great again, but to be comfortable for white people again. And you can't tell me it's anything different unless you want to. Feel free, leave me a comment down below why if you personally don't like DEI, diversity and inclusion, tell me why. It's because you ran into some bad programs? Do you not believe in including everybody? Do you not believe in giving other people a seat at the table? Do you not believe in giving other people opportunities? Like, what is your hang up with DEI? And have you actually been a part of any of the programs? Because again, these two people I'm talking about have not been part of the programs, as far as I know at least. I don't think either one of them have worked in corporate America. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out there, I don't know. But I've been in this thing, how old am I? I'm 40 now. So I've been in the workforce like damn near over 20 years. You know what I mean? And I've had diversity and inclusion in almost every company I've been at. And I've been to those videos where like, oh, it's wrong to discriminate against people. It's wrong to feel this way about people that you don't know. It's wrong to judge people. We all know that inherently. But I do think that some people lack a level of sensitivity. Some people do lack a level of understanding. I've had people say ignorant ASS stuff about me, or to me, not about me really, but to me. And they're like, oh yeah, that's okay, right? Yeah, buddy. Right? That's kind of how they treat it. And it wasn't until I got older and more confident, really, that I felt okay speaking out against it, or even being like, hey, you know what, that's not okay. And I deserve and have protections here. And DEI teaches us to even learn before we get to that point of someone having a problem with what you said. You know what I mean? So like getting rid of these programs is hazardous. And I'll just throw this out there too. Companies that are getting rid of their DEI programs include McDonald's and Facebook, as far as I know. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm inclined to honestly not mess with any companies that don't support DEI. You know what I mean? I don't understand. Like, who is it? Costco. Costco said, oh, you know what? We still down with the DEI. We doing it. We don't care what you think. And that's the company I want to support. So if you know any companies out there that have listed they're not supporting DEI, put them in the comments down below. And they gotta go. I'm sorry. It's whack, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm debating heavily, especially with the whole news of Mark Zuckerberg, you know, basically being like, yeah, the world has changed, and we now want to no longer have fact checkers at the helm. So we don't want to prove things to be right or wrong. We just want to give you freedom of speech to say whatever you want. Which, again, I'm not against freedom of speech, but I am against speech that is harmful and speech that is hurtful and speech that will literally destroy somebody and mislead the public. Like, the continuous of fake news, as you will, is a problem. And how you don't see it, or the hypocrisy there, I do not understand. But it is what it is. So with that said, I'm heavily considering deleting my Instagram, which I said I wasn't gonna do previously, but now I'm like, you know, all that time I spent on that app could be spent elsewhere. And the thing is, my reasoning for keeping Instagram and other social media up was often the idea of that, you know, I'm a YouTuber, baby. You know what I mean? Gotta promote my stuff, and I'll promote my stuff. What I'm gonna do, right? But to be real with you, I don't use it to promote my YouTube at all. I used to promote my political ideas and connect with friends. That's been it, really. And with that said, I'm okay letting it go. Like, real talk, I haven't really been on Facebook in eons. Like, I used to be on Facebook every single day, right? And like many other people, including the youngs, I just kind of got out the habit. Like, real talk, I got locked out for like a year and a half, and that was kind of it. I just couldn't get in. I'm like, oh, I guess my password doesn't work here anymore. I give up. And so after a year and a half, or maybe 2 years, of not being on Facebook, I got used to not having it. And now I don't really use it, so I don't really care. So that's one platform off my back. And Instagram, I could probably do the same thing. Because I feel like, honestly, and this is something real too, this is a whole other sidebar, I do feel like social media and cell phones have disrupted relationships in a very serious way. Like, there are people who get broken up with because they text too much, or people get dumped because they posted the wrong thing on social media, or because someone went there, slid in their DMs and saw the wrong thing, or whatever it might be. And I'm inclined, honestly, like very heavily inclined, to just say, F it. You know what I mean? Like, I want this next relationship to be the best relationship. I want to grow as a person. I want to connect with her as a real person. And I can't necessarily do that if, like, we have, like, you know, little squabbles over Instagram. And we haven't had one of those yet. But I feel like that it's coming at some point. I had an ex-girlfriend that, this is my fault, I'll own this, that I was mad at because she never posted me on her Instagram. And she goes, well, Chris, I don't post anything on Instagram. But then I go back in her archives, I see all them damn posts with her and her ex-boyfriend. I'm like, well, what about this? And she goes, Chris, that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And I'm still like, well, you loved him 7 years ago, why don't you love me now? Not my best moment. Not my best moment in the world. And we did couples counseling, and I said that in front of my counselor, and she looked at me and goes, do you think that her love is defined by how much she posts you on the internet, or is it defined how she treats you every day? And I was like, I hate you, and I hate I'm paying you money to tell me what I need to hear, because you're right. Because ultimately, your relationship is bigger than a post, bigger than a moment, bigger than a picture caught in time. So I'm kind of inclined to give it up, because this stuff is becoming too much, and I don't want to support a company that doesn't want to support me. Because again, unless you can show me a program that equalizes and gives us a reason to not really like need affirmative action, like show me something that show me something that changed in society in such a big way that we no longer need affirmative action? Just tell me what changed. Give me an idea. Give me an iota. Show me a measurable metric of what changed. Because I just think that without those programs, you're going to see a lot more people struggling. And those same people who maybe the people like, I'll say this, I'm probably privileged. I've been in my career for like 12 years. I can get a job like this, right? But there are people who aren't as privileged. There are people who didn't go to college. There are people who don't have the same, like support I have, and they don't have the same network I have, right? They're not as well liked as I am. They're not as personal as I am. I am lucky, right? I can talk my way into jobs. Not everybody has that skill set. And some people who look like me are gonna struggle now even harder because what? Because some other people got scared? Because people already at the top don't want to share? That's wild. That's not human. That's not humanity. It's just wrong. And that's just my opinion. So that, my friends, is today's vlog rant. And now I'm just gonna keep walking, hopefully to make it to the Mecca that is Whole Foods. I'll dial you guys back in the closer we get, but for right now, just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, you know what I mean. Go ahead and ring that bell, and support your boy, you know what I'm saying? I kind of forget sometimes when I'm streaming or recording in public that other people exist, and that me screaming to a camera might make me look mentally ill, but that's okay. But yeah, y'all, I'm doing videos every day, every single day until I can't stomach it. So if I took a day off, it's just I didn't want to do it. If I don't take a day off, then it's because I was excited and I had something to say. But that's really it. So honestly, I think we're almost at the intersection I want to be at. I'm looking ahead. Yeah, I think we're actually almost there. So I'll keep y'all walking with me, and we'll just go through this together. You know what I thought about doing, honestly? I genuinely thought about putting the camera down and doing one of those things where, because later I'm going to do this, where I would just show myself walking by and on the journey and going back and forth. Like, I make fun of him, but he does this. My buddy Mo Chocolate, or Chocolat, if you will, he does videos where he shows himself walking, going on walks. And for the cinematic feel of it, he'll show himself going down the path. And I'm always like, bro, you stopped your walk to walk that far, and then you turn around and walk back to get your camera. Like, you didn't just do that, right? I know you didn't just do that, right? Because there's no way you walking this far and you're not coming back. You know what I mean? It's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Also, I realized I was telling that story and walked away from the camera, and the mic probably didn't catch anything I said. If it did, points for Gryffindor. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm glad I'm doing this walk. I feel like I'm I'm burning calories. I'm connecting with nature. I'm enjoying the scenery. And then I get to walk back home and do it all over again. Let me ask this question. I used to do this thing back on the day in the channel called "What Did You Do This Weekend?" where every Sunday I did an update on my weekend exploits. So let me ask you, what are you doing this weekend? Because this weekend I think I'm going to be pretty boring, if I'm going to be completely honest. My goal really is to save money and not go outside as much as possible. But I do have an opportunity right now to be a karaoke DJ. Now, I might jinx myself by putting it out there, but I'm putting it out there anyway. It pays like $50 an hour, even if nobody shows up. So I make money to just wait for people to show up and do karaoke, and I get to help, usher them through the journey. That just sounds like a blast to me. So that's my big plan for the weekend. If not that, there's a karaoke band, there's a cover band called Shady. It does all Eminem songs. So if I don't wind up doing the karaoke job, see if the guy shows up, I'm gonna be all over that shady thing, man. But that's my plan. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it here. But please, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, etc., etc., etc. Find me on TikTok under Nerd Motivation and Instagram for now under Nerd Motivation. And I'll see you guys soon. Ever use teleport? Mama, no!